Alright, how's everybody doing? This is the Comic Samurai. I want to welcome you to my next video, and tonight we're going to be doing another Let's Rank challenge. This is where we look at a run on a series and assign every cover a letter grade from A to F, and then pick our favorite and award it that special S tier ranking. And tonight we're going to be looking at Todd McFarlane's spectacular run on Spider-Man. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First up, we got this issue number 1. And when Todd McFarlane decided to go off from The Amazing Spider-Man and create this title, The Adjectiveless Spider-Man, this is what he came up with. It debuted in 1990, and it's one of the most iconic covers that has ever been released. This is the cover that's probably been homaged more than any other. It came with a number of different versions. I always refer to this one as the black cover. It's got the silver webbing there, and I love that it's direct sales there. This one was sold without a polybag on it, and I like that. If you're going to sell a comic book with different versions that have polybags, at least sell one that came and make it known that it was not originally sold in a comic bag, so you have a copy that you can read. I love that. This is an iconic cover, and I'm giving it a very strong A. They did come out with many different versions, and this is one that I bought from a comic shop that has got a Todd McFarlane signature on it. He used to have an interest in a comic book shop, and he signed, they say, up to 30,000 copies with this gold ink. And I'll give a close-up example of what my signature looks like. Some of them got pretty sloppy. But on the back of all of these, in lieu of a certificate of authenticity, they put a stamp, a little square red stamp on the back. And I'll put an image of that here. And I always like to say when I'm talking about this comic, if you have a signed copy like this, check and see if your copy has that red stamp on the back. I'm always curious. Let me know. Alright, there was another version of that black cover, and this is the bagged version. And you know that this one came with a bag because the price was on the poly bag there, $2. It was not printed on the paper cover of the comic book. And this, for a long time, has been my go-to favorite copy. We'll see if it holds the title up today, but I'm giving this one another A. I just love it. Next up, we got the green covers. That's what I always call them, just because they have a green background instead of a black background. But some people say purple webs, silver webs, gray webs. I don't know about any of that. I just say this is the green edition. Now these, as far as I know, were all sold in a poly bag. And they came with a direct sales there with the price printed on the paper and just some other blurbs on the poly bag. They also came out with a newsstand version with the UPC symbol in the box there. They're all beautiful covers, and I'm going to give all of these number 1s an A. Now, in addition, they did come out with a platinum version that is very rare and pretty expensive. And they also came out with this bronze copy, or gold copy, or second print. And you'll see that instead, in lieu of the silver ink on the cover, this has got gold ink here. Now they also, mine happens to be a direct sale, but they did come out with the UPC version of this, a newsstand version, but those are pretty rare and fairly expensive. But I just love all the iterations of my number 1s, and I'm going to give them all an A rating. Now Todd McFarlane followed up that first issue with this number 2 here, and they've got a villain on the cover, and it's the Lizard. I didn't really ever care for that villain, but he was drawn pretty well on this one. The writing on these first couple, I don't know if it's all that much to write home about, but the art inside the pages are just well designed. Now this cover here, I gotta say, it doesn't live up to that number 1. I mean, how could you follow that iconic image? He did an okay job here, but some of the inks in the background there, when it's just a stylistic pattern that they do with the inking, Todd McFarlane inked himself on this cover, I'm pretty sure, and I could tell that he was a little pressed for time on this one or something. In any event, I like this cover, and I'm giving it a B. Next up, we got issue number 3 here, and as I was looking these over, I had never noticed before, but the trade dress is upside down. I'd never noticed that. Isn't that interesting? All these years, and Spider-Man upside down, and I know that this is supposed to be kind of a trippy, wonked-out cover, like Spider-Man's been drugged, but it never played well with me. You got a jawbone with teeth and like blood hanging from it. And the cover's been split in half, and you have this leopard print on this side and just a symbol on this other. Didn't work for me. I'm not a big fan of this cover. And look at how much he cheated by just doing black shadow on the front of Spider-Man there. Yeah, I never liked this one, and I'm going to give it a D. Next up, we got issue number 4, and this one didn't really work for me either. Something about the colors on it, just, there's too much of a brown background there, and these purple and pink, like, dazed circles around him like he was drugged. I just didn't like this one. The lizard, again, he either has a long snout, like in this one, or just a flat face, like in that issue number 2, but the action in here got a little lost, and, man, I'm not a big fan of this one either. I am going to go ahead and give it a B-, though. Next up, we got issue number 5, and this is very reminiscent of that Amazing Spider-Man with the Ditko cover, where the water's dropping. I think that this was TODD McFARLANE homage to that cover, but I didn't care much for it. I love how he built the rubble. It's interesting to look at all of it, but the way it was colored, just all this green and the brown in the background there, it just kills me. I don't know why they chose that coloring scheme, and I didn't like that his mask was all ripped and the hero defeated. This one's not one of my favorites, and I'm only going to give this one a D. Next up, we got issue number 6, and this, as far as an image goes, is amazing. It's beautiful. I love Todd's rendition of Hobgoblin, Spider-Man right in the middle. However, I wish they wouldn't have layered the two characters like that. Put them more side by side. You can't even hardly see Hobgoblin there. And this green mint background there. Oh, I think the colorist on this one should be demoted. Man, I did not like that mint green there, and the best I can do on this one is a C-. I know that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but if you look at Hobgoblin's face, it's just a silhouette, and sometimes that works, but it just felt like Todd was cheating there. And again, I can't abide that green mint background and the orange of the Hobgoblin. They clashed horribly in my view. Anyway, the best I can do on that one is a C-. Next up, we got issue number 7, and Ghost Rider made an appearance on the cover here with the web slinger. I like TODD McFARLANE's iteration of Ghost Rider there. He kept that iconic motorcycle windshield there. One thing is that Spider-Man is upside down, and Todd has a proclivity to do that. He's done a couple of covers with Spider-Man upside down, and sometimes his back is even to the camera there, and he experiments with that, but I just didn't really work on this one. Ghost Rider's image is amazing, and does that pull it up to the level of an A there? Yeah, I've always liked this one, and I am going to give this one an A. Next up, we got issue number 8, and of TODD McFARLANE's run, I can confidently say that this is probably my least favorite. Now, of Spider-Man covers, it's decent, but when you're comparing it to the other TODD McFARLANE, amazing, just spectacular, epic, iconic covers, this one falls really flat. That leg there absolutely kills the cover for me. And all of these forest-like trees and leaves and things with the brown bark and the green leaves clash so bad with the red and blue of Spider-Man's costume there. Even the highlights of the light there, like this pale pinkish purple color, did not work for me. I'm hesitant to give this one an F, but I really do not like that leg there, and I've always disliked this one. It just killed the momentum of the series, and for that reason, I'm giving it an F. Next up, we got issue number 9, and Wolverine at the time was my absolute favorite character, and I heard that Wolverine was going to make an appearance in this Spider-Man series. I was so excited to see TODD McFARLANE drawing Wolverine again. And this iteration there of his brown costume was okay, and his claws there just looked awful. Look at how short they look. And you've got this image of Wendigo in the background there, and it's just covered up by Spider-Man. And again, he's upside down. And look at how he cheated Wolverine's boots. He didn't want to draw his feet there, which is kind of a trope of him and Liefeld. But something did not work on this one. I really wanted to love it, and the interiors are amazing and fun to look at, but I go back to the claws. It really does come back to that with me. And the claws on this one were just awful. I do like Wolverine's headpiece. Look at how tall his mask goes. And I love that experimentation with that. I think this is the absolute tallest that an artist can get away with. But those claws, man, I got to give this one just a B, and it's hovering on a B-. Next up, we got issue number 10, and I think that this cover in the sketches would have been amazing, and it had so much potential, but I think Todd was rushed for time. Look at how much of the characters are just concealed in shadow. But the Wendigo's face, you can tell he started at the top, and as he worked down, there was less and less detail, where Wolverine is almost a complete shadow. And if you look at his claws, they are shaky. They do not look like straight-cut steel or adamantium at all. They're like wobbly and warbly, and the inker on this one, if it was Todd, man, I don't know what was happening, if he's having a seizure or whatever, but his claws just look awful on this one. And with all those silhouettes, it just had such potential. And that mint green in the thumbnail, man, this one again, I'm just going to give it a B, and it's lucky it's a B minus. It's lucky it doesn't get a C. Next up, we got issue number 11. And again, what am I going to say about this one? Look at those claws on Wolverine. I absolutely hate that when they're just a tapered triangle. Put an edge on it. Put some reflections on it. You can do so much dynamic work with his claws. They're a reflective surface too, so you can have all kinds of color striations and lines and reflections, and just to have white triangles, that's a sin in my book. Otherwise, it's a decent cover, although this picture of Spider-Man's head just kind of plastered on there. Usually I praise Todd McFarlane's graphic design work, but it slipped on this one. It wasn't quite developed enough. I love that thumbnail there. But man, this one, I've got to punish it with those claws. Don't do that. I hate that, and I'm giving this one a D. I know that's sacrilegious because I love that comic, but that image of Wolverine, don't do that. Next up, we got issue number 12, and this one had so much potential too. I like most things about it, but Wolverine's teeth. They're all pointed, and you do that on a villain that's kind of demonic or something like that, but not Wolverine. He has very sharp canines, but the rest of his teeth are not pointy like that, and it just gives him like a vampire look or a demonic look, and it didn't fit this cover here. I don't like the woods in the background there. I know that it mostly took place in like a forested area there. I love how his web is coming out at the viewer and the spaghetti webs. You can look at all the details there, but I cannot get past Wolverine's teeth. I'm sorry, but I really care about how he is presented and how he's drawn, and when he's misrepresented or there's a trope that I don't like, man, I just feel like I can't do very well on it, and the best I can do on that one is a C. It breaks my heart, but that's where we're at. Next up, we got issue number 13, and here's an homage to issue number 1. I love the similarities there. It's his black costume done on the cover, though, although an issue with a green background is probably more appropriate to show because that one also has a green background. And it's a great what if Todd drew that cover with the black costume there. This one really did work for me. It's a great idea. It's fun. I almost want to give it a demerit because it started the homage trope. But if you're going to do it like this. It's a great homage. I love it. And I'm giving this one a very strong A. Next up, we got issue number 14, and this one absolutely did not work for me. It just looks like a cluster of all these images and symbols there, and we've already dealt with that, like where he's drugged up and can't make sense of things, and this was just a continuation. I wanted to move on from that. I do love the black costume there, but this pink image of the spider and this face here just floating out there, and this one down there, they did not work. I didn't like this one. The colors, they really tried to make it work, but they incorporated way too much of that pale pink. I didn't like this one, and I'm giving it a D minus. Next up, we got issue number 15, and Todd McFarlane didn't have anything to do with this comic. It was all done by Eric Larson, and I'm not going to let it compete in the competition. Alright, the last one that Todd McFarlane did is this issue number 16, and it's a horizontal cover. Now, I always like to show it vertically so you can get a lay of the land and see what it looked like. And at first glance, the one thing that stuck out to me is this tan background. Oh, I hated that. But it's a little better when you do turn it and you look at the cover, how it was supposed to be presented. There's a lot more going on here, and it's a lot more palatable to have that tan here. But I love the introduction of X-Force there. It was a great way for Todd and Rob Liefeld to kind of bring their two titles together. Rob Liefeld at the time was working on X-Force, and he also did a horizontal cover. And they recognized that Todd McFarlane was going to be leaving the title soon, and they have this little word balloon there that says, "Bye, Todd," like we recognize that he's leaving the series. But this is one of my favorite covers. I love horizontal covers when they're done right. I'm giving this one a very strong A. Alright, well now that we have them all ranked, why don't we go ahead and look at the ones in the A tier and pick our favorite. Alright, we gave these 8 comic books here, or A ranking on Todd McFarlane's run. Let's go ahead and look at them. We've got this first issue with just the black cover, the bagged black cover with the price on the bag. We've got the green bagged cover with a direct and a newsstand edition. We've got the second print with the bronze ink there. We've got issue number 7 with Ghost Rider, issue 13, the homage to number 1, and this horizontal issue number 16. Now, it's not going to be that one. This Ghost Rider one, too, something about that didn't work, so it's all this single image here, and I have to pick my favorite iteration of all of them. It's not going to be this issue number 13. I mean, the first one always gets bonus points in my book. It's not going to be the second print, although I do like it. It is a beautiful contrast to the other covers there. But of these here, I always gravitated towards the black covers. And if I had to choose my favorite here, I know other people say it too, and they gravitate towards it, but this issue number 1 in the bag is my favorite Spider-Man cover of Todd's run. I love how the trade dress is just a little different without a price in it. I love that bag, and it's another type of collecting where I didn't remove mine from the poly bags, and a lot of collectors said you should. Take them out of the bag right away. It's ruining your comic. Well, mine still holds up really well. The bag, I like it when it's not wrinkled. You can see all the printing still on the bag, and it just really is a great layout. I love the placement of those 2 circles and that red stripe at the top. Everything works for me on this one. I love it. What a great, fun comic book series Todd McFarlane produced in 1990. Happy to give this one my S tier ranking. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. Let me know if there's any other titles, artists, writers, runs you want me to rank. Thanks again, and have a great night. This is a copy of this...